Hello everyone, Vickieverlie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. Thanks for tuning in for the full moon reading. This is a psychic or intuitive astrology reading. So here it is, the full moon at 21 degrees of Capricorn, happening 2:37 p.m. Eastern on July 13th, but times will vary. Conjunct Pluto. I mean, this is going to be a super powerful full moon. It's conjunct Pluto. In the sign of Capricorn, which rules the patriarchy and the powers that be, and old school, the elders, and old paradigm kind of energy. So Pluto's been going through there. Pluto has almost finished its journey through the sign of Capricorn. It's going to be popping out of there, into next year, and the full moon is there to kind of. Well, it's a lot of things. It could bring illumination to what Pluto, the changes that have already occurred during this time frame. It could really shine a light on some of these old paradigm things. And with Pluto, it always is that it's going to be changed. There's always going to be change with Pluto. And you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. But there is going to be a change. And, changing in the sign of Capricorn can be difficult. It's definitely bringing in the old paradigm vibrations and energies. This one, too, the full moon is trining the North Node, which the Uranus North Node conjunction is in. It's on, baby. It's in with 2 degrees here, so it's happening. So we're wanting to really break free, and we're wanting to follow our true north as a collective. And also, as an individual, we're wanting to follow our true north into, the next phase of human evolution, the next, into the future. With the Uranian energy, we want to go into the future. So it's a strange dichotomy here because we have the old school stuff of the Capricorn energy, and then we have the futuristic stuff of the Uranus energy in the sign of Taurus, which is very grounded in the earth. And can be steeped in traditions and things like that as well. Earthy, grounded. But it's conjuncting the North Node. So we're really getting pulled. And this could be like a shake loose. Shake loose of some old paradigm stuff. Shake loose of some things that no longer serve us big time. They just no longer serve us. And we need to be free of them. This nodal act, it's in addition to trining the North Node, where the Uranus is, that's pretty big stuff, it's also sextiling the South Node, and the Sun is trining the South Node, because, of course, the full moon is the Sun opposed to the Moon, so they're both interacting. So the Sun is sextiling the North Node, trining the South Node, and the full moon is sextiling the South Node and trining the North Node. So we're being called to this, and this South Node in Scorpio, we want to purge the past. We want to have a death and rebirth. We want to be free of it forever, like for real, like a real death, not just, okay, yeah, things come up, we look at them, and then they're not really dealt with. The Scorpio wants to deal with things once and for all and get things together here. In addition to this nodal axis, the Saturn's right in here too. The Saturn is squaring these nodes. That's been going on. That went through, the whole time of all the solstice energy, and we're in that for a while here too. So Saturn, Saturn, ruler of the full moon. The full moon is in the sign of Capricorn, so therefore it is ruled by Capricorn's ruling planet of Saturn. Okay, so this full moon is ruled by the planet of Saturn. And Saturn can be very forceful at times. Saturn is old school. It's forceful. It does not want to. It's not going to. It's not playing. It's not playing. It's the strict disciplinarian. It can play that role. The Saturn energy can play that role of the strict disciplinarian. You are not going to. You're going to follow the rules, you're going to do what you're told, but it's in the sign of Aquarius too, so it's also, again, there's this dichotomy of the old school and the new things, because, of course, Aquarius too is Uranus's ruler, so there's a lot of these different things all working in tandem with being pulled into the future and then possibly, wanting to go back to the past and hold on to the past and be be restrictive. You know, Saturn can be really restrictive and harsh and authoritarian. You know, that energy can come in. But this is very strong. You know, this Uranus North Node is strong. As a people, as a collective, we are meant to move forward. Well, I always say this, you know, we live in an expanding universe, right? So we live in this expanding universe. And you can't stop it. You can't stand there and say, no, universe, stop expanding, you know. I did this drawing a while ago. It was going to be part of a deck at base some point, but there's this, a figure, a person, I don't have it handy, or I'd show it to you, standing in the river, like stop, with his hand up, like stop trying to stop the flow of the river. I mean, I guess we can do that. We build dams and things like that, but for most part, it's pretty, you know, it's a waste of energy. The river's not going to listen to you. The universe isn't going to listen to you. The universe is expanding. You can't stop it. You cannot stop the universe from expanding. So you might as well just get on board. You know, you might as well just get on board and be part of it. And, you know, because ultimately, on a soul level, that's what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to come down here and be stagnant. You came down here to be part of the progression, part of, you know, to learn and grow as a soul. And that's a lot of what could be happening at this time, for real, because, you know, we've got soul growth. When you come up against some of these harder things that we have to deal with in life, which this energy can be, that is when you get your soul growth in. That is where you can expand, and Uranus is about expansion too. Well, Sagittarius energy, Jupiter is too, but Uranus is too. This is the time when you can expand. This is the time when you can have your soul growth and expand to the next level of awareness. Another thing that's going on is the Venus at this moment. The Venus is trining the Saturn. So that's some nice energy, and it's in the sign of Gemini, which I like, because that's air. And Venus in Gemini, it's like you can have a conversation. You can have a real conversation. You can have a conversation about possibly a difficult situation, and you could have it go well, or there could be some understanding, or it could be a flow, or you could come to some resolution, or there could be creative solutions with the Venus energy. And Venus rules Taurus, which is in the North Node, is in Taurus and Uranus too. So Venus is a player in this interaction for sure. So the Venus energy is, you know, there could be creative solutions. It doesn't have to be, well, it's, you know, it's drawing this line in the sand. Well, it's you either are with us or against us. You're either going to stay in the past or move into the future. You know, there's always, you know, there's compromises. There's different ways to look at it. And maybe you're not going to be all in on anything, you know, but you could have some understanding. You could be a little bit in. Or maybe with Venus in Gemini, you know, you could come up with a creative solution where, you know, it's like, well, I would be all in on this, but it just needs a little tweaking here and there. You know, we could talk about that. We could talk about the tweaks and how it could be tweaked and come to a resolution that would be pleasing in the Venus energy, pleasing for myself and also for you and everybody involved. But we're going to have to talk about it. You know, the Venus and Gemini, we got to talk about it. Another way to look at this too, though, with this being the full moon and the Venus and Gemini, you could hear something. Some of you could hear something, I'm getting real strong, you could hear something about some ex or some love from the past or something like that, because we got all this South Node direction happening here too, and it's also squaring up with Neptune, which is in the 12th house in the past. It can be the past, and that for some of you, you could hear some news about somebody from the past, like something happened to them or about them, and I feel for the most part it's just like that would allow for some freedom, or something that you once really, Venus, that you wanted, that you really craved, or you really wanted, or you really cared about. Something that was hidden could come to light, like maybe a secret, or you know, some kind of inside information that's going to shine a light, and this full moon shine a light on a situation that is just like, you know what, well, I really dodged a bullet on that one, or you know, it could be with money or career or something, you know, maybe something, it feels like something that, you know, many of you may be really coveted, you know, I really coveted, I really, really wanted this, and then you find out and it's just like, whew. All right, then you could just say, thank you, universe. Thank you for not giving me that thing I wanted so badly, because I find out now that maybe it wasn't It wasn't for, well, it wasn't for your highest good. If you're not having it, it's not for your highest good. But it could also then free you up. With the Venus-Saturn, you know, people could be locking into things that are very solid, very beneficial and very solid. Could be relationships because of Venus, but it also could be money because we're looking at the Venus ruler of a Taurus and the issue around. Many of you, because this is Taurus and it's your worth and your livelihood and your money and stuff, many of you are just like, you know, I do not want to work this job anymore. You know, I just, I realize that I really don't like this job. I'm really not suited for it. That I have, you could get in touch with this higher calling. And then there again, you know, the higher calling isn't always your job. You know, not everybody's higher calling. Some people work a job and do their higher calling and in different, you know, it has nothing to do with their job or their career. But for many of us, in an ideal world, we would be doing work, at least work we love, even if it's not tied into our highest calling. So if you're not doing work that you love, and you may think, well, who wants to, you know, there's jobs that nobody would love, you know, like for instance, cleaning. I hate cleaning. But I know girls that love cleaning. I mean, they smoke a little weed and they're like, oh, I smoke a little weed and I clean the whole house, and they just love it. Usually somebody with like a Virgo, you know. But it seems, when I'm thinking of it, a couple of Geminis that I've known, they love cleaning too, because, you know, they got that detailed energy. So it's somebody's dream job, you know. Or you think, well, who wants to dig ditches? Well, maybe somebody who's, you know, a Taurus or likes is really attached to the earth and wants to be outside all day would think, hey, I would like to dig ditches because, you know, that's better than sitting in an office in a cubicle where I'd go nuts. At least I'm outside in the sunshine. I'm getting my body's working out. I'm getting fit. I don't have to go to a gym. You know, so just because it's something that you could never see as, you know, who would want to do that? It's somebody might want to do it. You know, out there somewhere, somebody might want to do it. I know people who do those kinds of jobs, or have known in the past, that work outside, like, not necessarily, but kind of digging ditches, like working on the roads or different things like that outside. Yeah, and they do love it, and they say that they get even into kind of a meditative state. Or even like people who work in factories, they like it because it's mindless. And while they're just doing this repetitive task, their mind is free to create. Their mind is free to, you know, write songs. Or like musicians I've known who've worked in factories, you know, they're just like, yeah, well, I just put on my headphones and I listen, you know, and I get ideas for songs, and, you know, and it's mindless, where they don't want to, you know, and then other people want to really use their mind and work in, you know, in an office or a lab or something and really use their mind. But to some people, that's, you know, that's like hell on earth to have to, you know, always have your thinking cap on. They want mindless work where you can just drift off and, you know, whatever, do whatever you want and have your Neptunian, your own little private world going on inside your head or whatever. So that, you know, at least it aligned. I mean, I guess if given the chance, people might say, well, I don't want to dig a ditch. But if it's like, well, we can pay you to work in a cubicle, or we can pay you to, you know, do this, or grade tests. I remember one time I had to do community service years ago, and I had to grade tests all the whole time. And, that was just hell on earth for me, too. It just gave me a massive headache. I would have much rather been outside picking up trash, you know, being outside in nature. But whatever. Back to this, and it wasn't any serious crime or anything. It was my mom's house, and there was violations on my mom's house. That's why, and I wasn't able to get it all fixed in time, and I had to do community service. So, no, I'm not like a hardcore criminal. I never have been. If anybody's out there wondering about that, but anyways, yeah. So that was hell to me, having to grade those papers and having to do that real. Is that the left brain or the right brain? I always get that confused. You know, having to be in that really right. I think it's the right brain, in that real, always concentrating. You know, that to me, that's hell on earth. But to somebody else, they might love it. You know, and they don't want to go outside and get dirty. A lot of people don't want to be outside and get dirty. You know, they'd much rather be in an air conditioned office. Well, cool. So yeah, people are coming. My point is. With the Uranus North Node conjunction, I think that's already been happening, you know, with the shutdowns and everything, like we can't get people to go back to work and whatnot, in certain areas. It's just like, you know, I hate that job. Why do you have to work at some job you hate? And, you know, a lot of that is in the service industry, but then again, I know a lot of people who love that. That's their dream job. They get to joke around, they're very sociable, they get to, you know, be in a place with joke around with people, interact all the time. You know, so it's there's like a big reshuffling going on. And that's another part of the Uranian energy. So allow for that to happen, you know. Allow for that if you're getting that inkling. Because if you're getting that inkling and you've got Saturn and Pluto in play, you better pay attention. It's better to listen now to those first little inklings than it is to have to... Because Saturn and Pluto can come down hard. It really can. It can bring about some severe, hard changes, you know, where, bam, you know, the whole thing changes and you don't have much of a say in anything, you know. So it's better to do it from a place of creating your reality, than it is to being forced out or forced into taking a job that you hate, or, you know, different things. So, or maybe you're hating this job, and then this comes up a lot, you know, people are like, oh, well, you know, but I need the job, blah, blah, blah. And then the company ends up closing down or something, or the department is eliminated. So the universe is going to take you out of situations, wherever you're having that inkling, wherever you're having that feelings of, you know, being restricted or being pushed. Saturn will push. Venus will pull you. It's better off to find your Venus energy, following your bliss, following your joy, than it is to have Saturn pushing you, you know, in a negative things on it, you know, pushing you away because things are making things rough on you, to force you to make a move or change the situation. Take the initiative and change it on yourself. And with the full moon, it does bring awareness. So there could absolutely be some awareness on that front, on those kinds of fronts. Something that you realize is just like, yeah, it's time for me to go. It's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. There's a change is afoot with this Uranus thing. I mean, change is afoot. And this full moon with Pluto is all about change. It's death and rebirth. And it's trine. The good thing is that it's a trine. So when we do have a trine, it can come about in a pleasant manner. It doesn't have to be push, shove, force, you know, through difficulty and all that. It could come about in a way that is pleasing, you know, occur with ease, rather than, you know, bumpy road. You could make a smooth transition. Transitions could be smooth and to your liking, with the Venus being so heavily involved here, to your liking. You know, this is a great time to do creative visualization, to create your reality, because you're creating with the power of Pluto. Pluto's not all bad, and Saturn's not. No, nothing is all bad. There's always positive and negative to every situation. And you know, it's not always negative. So there's always a positive way to make a change. A lot of times there's fear involved when changes occur. The fear of the unknown. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how it's going to... You know, at least that I know, the hell I know thing, you know, the hell I know is better than the hell I don't know, you know, staying in that situation. But this is not the time to stay in these frustrating and negative and hell you know situations. This is the time to branch out. This is the time, with Taurus being fixed in Earth, to plant those seeds. To plant those seeds of the new foundation, to take you into the future of where you want to go. With Mars conjunct the part of fortune, you know, it is time to take action, because Mars is the planet of action. It's very action-oriented. And it's with the part of fortune. So taking action at this time could really propel you with the Uranian energy. It could be, you know, something so unexpected. It's beyond your wildest dreams. That's another aspect of, you know, the Uranian energy, is taking things beyond your wildest dreams to another level of, it's really, I mean, to be honest, it's like time jumping, timeline jumping. You know, Uranus is calling you to, you know, well, if you don't want to use the term timeline jumping, you could say, you know, to live your best life. Living your best life, following your true north. We're all being called to this. And in particular, if you do have planets, you know, in the 18 to 20 degrees-ish, or even, you know, in the low 20s, in your chart at all, because it's just everywhere. You've got Neptune at 25, Saturn at 24, Pluto at 27, the nodes are at 20, Sun's at 21, Uranus at 18, 24. So in these 20-something degree you're getting activated, which, you know, chances are it's just about everybody on the earth. I mean, it's a good percentage of people on the earth that are really getting activated at this time. So we're being called to follow our highest goals, our highest calling, our true north. And, you know, with the Pluto energy, how you could really use that Plutonian energy is to release. You know, the full moon is a time of releasing. So this is a powerful time to write your affirmations out of what you do want to release, of what you want to let go of, because there's powerful Pluto here. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be ever a full moon at all more powerful this year for releasing. And then with the Uranian energy, hand it off to Uranus to forge the new future, to forge the future that you really want, to live your true north, to live your highest calling. Okay, everybody, I'm recording in a different location, and it looks like my battery's about to die, so I don't want to just cut off abruptly. So I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and to my readings. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. I'm not offering any special readings at this time, but I do have, as far as astrology, I do have the past life soulmate reading, and I do have the soulmate reading, and then I have regular readings that I offer all the time that are available on my site. I did want to show one of my books here, but I forgot to bring, I'm in a different location, I forgot to bring it in here. But at any rate, I have a whole bunch of different things, which you can find all of it in the links below the video, and also on my website, vickieverlie.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and I say that all the time, but come from that place in the choices that we are making right now, to take you to the highest calling, to take you to the highest good, to take you to the highest good for not only you, but for everyone involved, and to live your true life's dream and your true north. All right, everybody, till next time, have a great week or a great couple weeks. We'll talk again soon.